Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to our today's another tutorial on Python programming series. So today we're going to explore loops in Python, especially for loops and the while loops. The loops are the fundamental concept that allow you to execute a block of code multiple times, making your program more efficient and powerful. So now let's get started. First of all, let me explain what are loops. So loops are used in programming to repeat a section of code in Python, and we primarily use two types of loops. First of all, loops, and second, while loops. Okay, so today's around, let's jump into our first exam while we use for a loop to print numbers from 1 to 5. Okay, so now just type for 4 and then the variable is number team. And using this range, this function, those things are included value, this one and including the 6. And now just I'm playing for this for the loop, and since simple example is done, and here just use for in this range for 1 to 6 to generate number from 1 to 5. And here in this the for loop is iterate over each number in this range and prints it out. Okay, so this simple way to repeat action from your defined number of iterations. Okay, so now just let me run this code now, and as you can see here is properly printing the output for 1 2 3 4 and 5. And you can see here is a completely working in this the boiler. Okay, now I'm just using another example for the while loop. And here is a countdown. So let's look at the while loop. Create a countdown for 5 to 1. So just remove for this example, and here you apply the while loop for the countdown. First of all, I'm type 4 here. Is the countdown is equal for the number is 5. So next step here, I will apply this while loop. So now just I type for the while, and in this inside, including this count is greater than or 0. Okay, so next step, using this print function in this inside and including here, this is the countdown. So first of all, I will type the countdown is decrement to equal to 1. Okay, so you can see here is decrease the countdown by 1. This example, just iterate a variable countdown with the value of 5, and the while loop check if countdown is greater than 0. Inside the loop, the print the current value of the countdown, and then it's decrease it by 1. And this continues until the countdown is reached, but this is 0. So now just let's see the output. So you can just click on the run icon. As you can see here is perfectly printing output the decrease for 4 5 4 3 2 1, and 8 means completely working in example. So now I'm just using this another example for loop to sum a list. For our final example, use a for loop to calculate the sum of numbers in a list. So you can see, use this example. So now just remove again in this for the first of all here I'm type the easy numbers equal to, now I'm including the sum number first time, including 10 20 30 40 and 50. Then I'm using this another variable total is equal to 0, and now I apply here for the loop condition. So for if I need in this the number, and in that numbers, and the next line here I am including this total and a space and then plus equal to in this the number, because it is add number to the total. So now we are using this again here the print function, and then type the first the message, the first type for a year. So the total sum is, and then apply for here, and you can see the total. Okay, so this is example just to define a list of numbers and initialize the variable total to 0, and then use a for loop to just iterate for each for this number in this list, adding to total, and finally just to print out the total sum, just show how for the loops works. Can be used for processing those calculation of data. Okay, so now just saving this code, click indented to run, and as you can see here, the sum of the total of sum is 150. That means it's perfectly processing selection in this data. Okay, so now that's it for the tutorial. The tutor will learn about loops in Python, focusing for loops and while loops. Okay, so I hope you perfectly understand in this tutorial topic.